At 1 here on TV2.
Welcome, everybody, to Milwaukee. It is Game 3 of the Eastern Conference semifinal between the Detroit Pistons and the Milwaukee Bucks. The Pistons leading this series 2-0 and hoping to advance on into the championship. Chicago now with a stranglehold against the New York Knickerbockers. Starting lineups today: Aguirre, Mahorn, Lambier, Dumars, and Isaiah for the Pistons. Kristoviak, Roberts, Sigma, Humphreys, and Moncrief. And today it's the black versus the white as far as the coaches are concerned. The good guy over there on the right is Del Harris, and the man wearing the dark representing the bad boys is one Chuck Daly. And Terry Cummings available today. The Bucks hoping to get 20 minutes of service out of him. I'm Brett Musburger along with Bill Raftery. Bill, what do we look for here today?
Well, I've got to think Milwaukee has to get some easy baskets, Brent. They've been struggling a little bit. Their half-court set not as efficient as they would like. Detroit, on the other hand, their guards have not played as well as they can. Isaiah Thomas and Joe Dumars, very talented, have not performed up to their ability.
So Mahorn, Sigma, ready to jump it off. Now controlled by the Pistons in their traveling blue trimmed in red. First possession here of a series in which Detroit leads it 2-0. Looking to get Isaiah off early if he can. It'll be Lambier with the game's first shot, and just like that, the Pistons lead it.
Both clubs like to run curls off their post people, and of course, if you dribble and penetrate, they can kick it to their big guys.
Kristoviak down hard at the end line.
They've been able to back cut. Lambier gets caught behind the leg going out on Larry Kristoviak, and that continues the problems in the injury area.
We have a major controversy brewing between the officials and Chuck Daly already, and now the Buck coaches come out on the floor. Jess Kersey was over there talking to Chuck.
I just saw Jack Sigma saying it's his knee. And the Lambier, of course, slow of foot, caught behind, does shove, not of the dirty variety. That is not an overly physical foul. Of course, the people here have seen over the years some awfully tough pushes and shoves by the Pistons. This is Lambier just caught in a foot race that he's losing, and the leg collapsing.
The left knee collapsed before he was ever touched. That last angle showed it perfectly. Already they're without Paul Pressey today. Paul McKeskey out too. Cummings returning after pulling that tendon in his right ankle. And now Kristoviak could be lost.
I was chatting with Larry prior to the game, and he said the day off made him feel good, the rest and preparation, and this puts the pressure a little bit on Terry Cummings. They may be asking for more than 20, and this is not a pleasant scene.
Now the crowd is aroused, thinking there was contact. Watch the left knee when he hits the floor. Look at it, how it buckled before Lambier ever got up on him. Now, as Lambier moves in closer, that's what most of the crowd saw. And it's unfortunate that they are not aware that there wasn't any contact in this particular instance. At least, Bill, from our vantage point, on that replay, it looked as though the knee simply gave out.
They have a play, they lift people. In this play, Larry Kristoviak is a lift person, and they'll back cut because they feel they're a little quicker than Mahorn and Lambier. There's a little shove just as the pass is completed, and now Lambier gets the hands on the back. Now that sort of sets him at a disadvantage. He's lost control of his legs and the buckle. Again, I must say, it was not a overly physical foul. It was just a man caught from behind and the shove.
Referee Mathis conferring with the Milwaukee coach.
Dell's been upset and talking with us about the foul situation. He feels he's been at a disadvantage. He feels the Pistons will bump and they'll retaliate and get the foul call. Great competitor, hard worker, has had a good series.
Let's go to Andrea Joyce for more on this story. Andrea?
Brant, we just talked to Del Harris, asked him what happened. He said Lambier pushed Krzyzkowiak. I asked him how bad it looked to him. He said it's real bad. Krzyzkowiak's knee is out. Brent?
All right, Andrea, thank you. So from the Bucks' perspective, at their end of the bench, they believe that Lambier pushed him. Now we're going to have to continue to look at that one angle. The boos ringing down upon the head of Lambier, and the Bucks were called for a technical foul. Let's take a look at how this play began. Now Krzyzkowiak on the cut. We'll come back here in a moment right after the technical free throw. Now let's take a look at it from there. There is some obvious contact there. Now he breaks free and the knee buckles.
Here's the hedge. That's where he gets caught. He's trying to help out. The great cut by Krzyzkowiak and the chug from the rear. Basketball type of foul.
Now Brewer, who replaced Cummings, shooting the free throws at the other end. I should say Krzyzkowiak. Brewer, who replaced the injured Krzyzkowiak, shooting the free throws. So a technical was called against Milwaukee on the play. Lambier missed it, and Brewer in the game for Milwaukee right now. Aguirre with a 3 for Detroit. Seattle with an early lead and needing that victory to keep that series going. The Lakers leading it by 3. As Roberts came down, foul is called against Detroit. And Terry Cummings checks in for the first time. Now, just to make the technical foul absolutely clear, it was called because Del Harris went after Lambier from the coach's box. So the technical was against the Milwaukee coach. Pistons bringing it down, looking for the opportunity. And on the turnover, it'll go back to the Bucks.
Both clubs have that ability to balance the floor. You will not see too many fast breaks. Cummings in the ball game. We'll see how he manages to square up and shoot with that ankle problem.
Humphreys. Lambier yanks it away, and the Pistons come down on the attack. Thomas pulls up and missed, and there is Sidney Moncrief, the great Milwaukee veteran, bringing it down to the attack. Here's Cummings. A perimeter shot, misfiring. Rebound, Detroit's ball. Mahorn wraps it up and cradles it. And now the Pistons come back down with a 4-point lead in the early going.
The isolation for Aguirre.
It's 7-1, and the Bucks are looking for their first field goal. They'll use a quick 20-second timeout here to see if they can regroup and climb back in.
As part of the problems right now, I think, is composure for Del Harris. You notice Sikla going inside a little bit more. I think he has to become aggressive as he picks the smaller people, get down to the box and develop an inside game. Obviously, Cummings a mystery both for Del Harris and ourselves. We'll see in their sets whether they get him free.
There are 2 more injured Bucks. Paul McKeskey leaning back. He thought he had come up ill and was having some difficulty breathing, and he returned home. They took an x-ray of a rib cage. There's Paul Pressey next to him, and he has an injured shoulder. He tried it in practice. So now, Bill, without Kostoviak and those two over there, the Bucks are really shorthanded here.
Slower type of game, really necessary for them right now.
Here's Humphries, and looking for a break. Humphries stole it from Thomas, and Humphries on a penetration of Roberts. The Pistons only turned the ball over 5 times in game 2.
Well, they need a little excitement, the Bucks. They've got to do it on the defensive end, come up with some steals.
Dumars fouled by Cummings.
That both clubs react so well, Brent, defensively. They really have to get the second and third options, and the team that does will win the basketball game.
All right, the first report from the locker room, and the word I was waiting to hear, Kostoviak thinks he slipped on a wet spot on the floor. He does not think Laimbeer had anything to do with it. Now, that's how I saw it on the replay when that knee appeared to buckle. And again, that's the first word out of the Milwaukee locker room from Larry Kostoviak. All of us here at courtside wish him nothing but the best right now. That injury did not look good. He's a tough kid. If he could play, he'd have hung in there. And it does not look good. He'll be taken for an x-ray, and we'll keep you up to date. But I'm so glad to hear that he doesn't feel that he was pushed into that injury. Sigma, and Laimbeer rebounds. And now the Pistons come back down on the move. The team favored to win it all. Dumars. Contact underneath, no question about it. Moncrief and Mahorn going for the rebound. And the foul is going to go against Moncrief, his first.
Del Harris has to be happy with Jack Sigma being more aggressive. The key for him is not to get in foul problems. Another ISO.
Jump pass from McGuire. Good ball movement on the inside to Mahorn. Great second pass by Dumars.
Well, that's that step up defensively, and you've got to find the answer.
Early lead for the Pistons here in Milwaukee. They have not won a game in the Bradley Center. 0 for 3 during the regular season. Roberts looking for Cummings. Cummings had turned to go to the glass, and it's a turnover by the Bucks. Now it's Laimbeer, and he's fouled. It's a 3-point field goal and a chance for the 4.
Both clubs like their 5-man. The center to trail either the fast break or any quick push up the floor. You see Laimbeer setting up camp. Isaiah recognizing Humphries out a little bit too late. Both are excellent deep shooters, Sigma and Laimbeer.
Ricky Pierce. Instant firepower. The main man for the Bucks checks in.
Now this presents a problem defensively for the Pistons. Pierce and Cummings, 2 terrific offensive players. Dumars has to play Ricky Pierce. See if they go to him.
Conscious of Cummings on the little turnaround. He jumped off the left foot. It's the right ankle that's injured, and Cummings was open. He just didn't get the shot to fall.
They're both clubs so used to one another. Each set they're prepared for. It's what you do on the alternate.
The short-handed Milwaukee Bucks. Everything will be uphill here this afternoon. What they need is for this crowd to get in and help elevate them. Humphries coming through is taken down by Mahorn, and the ball is out of bounds. Now over them the Pistons. 2-on-1 away from Isaiah. Ricky Pierce defensively was.
I think Isaiah played a little game there and got away with it. They really didn't handle that fast break opportunity well.
8-4, Detroit leading in that rebounding area, and Bill, that has been critical in this series.
Del Harris likes to get around 45. He thinks he can win rebounds.
Wow, misfiring.
First game, they got 31 rebounds, Brent. Not near enough, and then 40. His magical number is 45.
three. Didn't get the bounce. Aguirre couldn't handle it, and the Bucks out hustle the Pistons this time. Turn around and stuffed.
Oh, great cut, negated by better defense and the inability to elevate by Terry Cummings because of the bad ankle. Here, the drop step and then coming to the baseline. Excellent defense.
No, we've got a timeout here in Milwaukee. The Detroit Pistons leading the Bucks by a score of 14-3, and now they have waved off the timeout. They're not going to give them the timeout. Ball out of bounds, Bucks. Sigma puts it down. No foul. Hits the field goal. 14-5.
Of course, that step back, his trademark move, eliminates the traffic and the defense. This is the play they haven't been able to handle real well, the pick and roll.
Sigma stole it that time. Aggressive defense. And the foul is going to be called against Lambier, which is his second here in the early going, and the crowd will love that. So one of the bad boys sits down early. He sold a few posters in Milwaukee.
He sure made a few dollars for charity. But Del Harris had a right to be mad. The other night, Humphries got a shot from Lambier, and it wasn't detected. Del Harris got a technical foul. And you don't forget as a coach, and it carried over to this game.
Milwaukee not shooting well. They get a cleanup basket from Jay Humphries underneath. They are 3 of 13 here in the early going of this game, and they trail at 14-7 inside of 6 minutes. Opening quarter from Milwaukee. With Bill Raftery, I'm Brett Musburger. Larry Krystkowiak, his knee gave out in the early moments. He's been lost to the Bucks, who are shorthanded. Terry Cummings is trying it, but you could see that Aguirre one-on-one was going to use his speed to get around him, and Cummings sort of bodied him with his knee.
No compassion for the Paul, Brad, huh? Take it one-on-one. Of course, Terry, I think, can be more physical low on Aguirre, so it's not a bad match. Now they switch Roberts to Aguirre. Single-double.
On a run, Dumars fires up a miss. Roberts rebounds, outlet Humphries. Pierce looking to get untracked here, and he bangs one in. When he gets on a run, look out.
Brent, that's the dilemma for Chuck Daly now. Dumars matched on Pierce because Cummings is in the game.
Isaiah with a nice spin move. Some of the old Isaiah Thomas magic. So quickly, Pierce and Thomas put in their first field goals of the afternoon here.
Daly's been waiting for Thomas and Dumars to play well together.
Blocking foul on Dumars. Fourth team foul on both the Pistons and the Bucks. So they not yet over the limit, and the ball will be taken out of bounds by Milwaukee. Here's Roberts, and he traveled. He took that huge step before he got it down on the floor after taking the pass. Sigma trying to force Edwards out high. They drop it to the Pistons center. Good shooter, wouldn't stay down. Rebound Humphries, who's gone to the glass well here in the early going. Here's backing in on Dumars, got help from Edwards, but on a cleanup, rejection underneath by Mahorn, and Pierce takes it outside. Tenacity pays off for Milwaukee.
They came right down that time and dumped it to Ricky Pierce to let him do some things. They've got to do the unusual, I believe. Can't just come down and run their sets.
Roberts with Aguirre. Aguirre backs him in, and Sigma rebounds the miss. Cummings went down. Now he's back up. And there's a collision with Cummings and Mahorn square off momentarily, and Mahorn says, "Get out of my face." Cummings had dropped his fist like he was ready to go, and Mahorn laughed at him and walked away.
That smile works in Detroit. A little tough on the road. Rick getting some heat here.
Oh, timeout in Milwaukee. It's 16-11 Pistons over the Bucks.
CBS Sports continuing coverage of the 1989 NBA playoffs is sponsored by the Heartbeat of America, today's Chevrolet. The companies of the Prudential. Come to the Prudential and build your future on the rock. And by Miller Lite. When it's Miller Lite, less filling tastes great.
Well, here's what precipitated it. Watch Mahorn, 44. He's riding Cummings left. Now watch him take him down with the right arm. Now proceed up to the other end with the Pistons on the attack, and watch Cummings come down and get into him. Now watch what Cummings does with his hands. Drops his hands and says, let's go. And Mahorn waves him off.
The Ali shuffle.
I'll tell you something, Raft. The officials are going to have to clean this one up on the inside and fast.
Del Harris's problem, he said, we have tough kids, but we're getting caught. We retaliate, and the referee sees it. They're going to have to be a little more intelligent or get the first one in.
Mahorn yanks off a neat turnaround on that shot. That's the svelte Rick Mahorn, folks. Lost 60 pounds.
Thought he'd look better in clothes. That was the drive for him.
Shed the bad boy image. Oh, he gets picked off again by Pierce. Now it is Brewer with a left-handed hook and a nice one.
How to play physical is to go to the box and challenge the inside people. I think the Bucks are going to have to do
18-13, 3 minutes, first quarter. Tough physical matchup here in Milwaukee. Aguirre squeezes the trigger. Mahorn underneath comes back, and Brewer is there to stop him, and the crowd loves it. Into Pierce. On the outside, it was Isaiah who went down. Sickman diving after the ball, wraps it up. Milwaukee comes up with it. Roberts.
Give that assist to Sickman. Great hustle. They're going to have to generate a lot of enthusiasm for loose balls, rebounds, and become more aggressive.
18-15. Pistons over the Bucks. Jump back, and great defense by Roberts. They chase it down, and Humphries has got it. Humphries to the attack, turns the corner short. Brewer's there, foul. Edwards over the top.
Brent, that was all set up by great defense at the other end. They had struggled playing the pick and roll. They had the big guy playing and then switching on this end. Now they do a better job. The recovery here where the guard can stay, the big guy, in this case Roberts, backs off and intercepts the pass.
Isaiah sits down, and Dennis Rodman, another one of those superb subs off the bench, has checked in now for the Pistons, and he can give this team an instant lift. So it's Benny Johnson and Dumars in the backcourt. Mahorn, Edwards, and Rodman will go up front. Dumars. Brewer off with that miss. 2-point lead. Milwaukee can tie it. The Bucks doing an excellent job rebounding. Pierce wants it. Gets Benny. Comes up with a shot. Goes for the rebound. Dumars down. Benny's on his left. Coming through. He's ridden by Humphries. He'll shoot a pair.
But Ricky Pierce just got enough of the contact to miss the goal at the other end. But they're going to go to him with Benny Johnson as often as they can.
Humphries sits, and Ricky Green checking in for the Bucks.
Chris Brent, with Ricky Green coming in, he's got great speed with the dribble. He might be able to generate a couple of easy goals by pushing the ball up the floor. Here's Chuck Daly with the clothes. I ran into Joe Dumars at Chuck Daly's clothes store with all the gift certificates from Chuck Daly's show. So he learns, save them, and you can afford the nice threads.
Four-point Detroit lead here, 20-16. Still in the first period. That's the time remaining. Tony Brown, 35, who grew up in Chicago, gives him a little firepower. Comes to the top. Also attended Arkansas. Sigma's 3, not there. Good rebound that time by the Pistons. And it was Dumars who did it, and he brings it to the attack.
Brown and Rodman banging one another. They had a little contact the other night.
Pistons will try to get Rodman into it. Game clock here above the shot clock on both baskets, making it easy for the players. Mahorn fouled. He'll come to the line.
Now that cut by Mahorn set it up. Edwards was trapped on the baseline. If everybody stands still on offense, you are dead. You must present yourself in an area where the man can deliver the pass.
The man from Glad started to look a little ruddled over there.
He was upset early because he needs every edge with all the injury problems Del Harris has.
Suit matches his hair, doesn't it?
Those gray hair guys. Great head for the game.
Bad pass. They have turned it over. Let's go to Andrea Joyce for more on Krzysztofiak. Andrea?
Brent, we just talked to the Bucks a few minutes ago. They say Krzysztofiak has serious ligament damage to his left knee. As you could see, he was in a lot of pain. They're going to send him to the hospital for further examination right after the game. Brent?
All right, Andrea, I was afraid of that. Misfiring Edwards from the outside. Sigma's ball. Green brings it down now. They'll pull it back out. The patient Bucks, who have climbed back in this one. They're back down by 6 now. Pistons know they'll get the ball back before the period ends. Green from the perimeter misfiring, and the Pistons now can extend their lead here with the last shot. They have hit only 2 of their last 10, but they've maintained the lead. Edwards, a good shooter.
Great use of the clock.
That'll be the end of the first period. And Detroit, up 2-0 in this series, has taken an 8-point lead in Game 3. We'll be right back.
CBS Sports' continuing coverage of the 1989 NBA playoffs is sponsored by American Airlines. Something special in the air. The good time, great taste of McDonald's. And by Chrysler. Chrysler believes a luxury car should be a great driving car. At Chrysler, we're driving to be the best.
We join everybody in passing along a happy Mother's Day along the line. Here it's 24-16 as we start the second period.
And Brent, we had to get Randy Brewer to kneel down for this shot. His wife Wendy and Kevin, and I said, do you handle the baby better than you handle the basketball? He said occasionally.
He's been in the playoffs in each of his 6 seasons in the NBA, and with McKeskey out and Krzysztofiak out here this afternoon, they will certainly need some valuable minutes out of Brewer.
John Sally in on Sigma. They might become or go to Jack a little bit more.
Got past him that time, just as you said that. Defensive rebound by Rodman. Pistons are up by 8. Just underway here in the second period. Field goal shooting in that first quarter.